Hello everyone and welcome back to Full House Sports here with myself, Charlie. Right, I want to talk about something that is happening tonight in the bare knuckle boxing world, which is a bizarre sentence to say, whether you consider it a sport, what you consider it, is it a bit of a circus? That's not a debate I want to get into today. But James Degale, former Olympic gold medalist in orthodox boxing, I suppose, pugilism, whatever you want to label it, and a former IBF super middleweight world champion, makes his debut in the scene at the age of 39 against Matt the Jedi Floyd. And it's an interesting one, really, because Degale is, I've been out of the sport for a while. I believe he had hand issues, which was part of the reason why he retired from boxing, which is then bizarre to think that he's going to go into the bare knuckle world. But he's part of a spate of retired boxers who have gone into the bare knuckle boxing in order to, I guess, maybe fund their accounts. I don't know. For me, it's the wrong move for Degale, and it's a move that I'm not really a fan of. Like I say, I'm not about slating bare knuckle. I said on my Moses Tower video towards the end last week that I didn't think that it was right what was going on. You know, we've seen it. Frankie Gavin has gone into it and been destroyed. Jamie Cox has gone into it and been quite heavily dismantled. James Degale now, he might win. I don't know if he will. I think the guy he's fighting last had an exhibition with Sugar Shane Mosley, which is quite mental, really, when you think about that he's still going. I think we just need to leave these guys to do their own thing. What I can't get my head around is why James Degale's not maybe looked at the Misfits route, because at least then he's going to have gloves on. He's not going to take so much punishment. I'll be honest, I listened to a podcast the other day with him on, and he was talking about this opportunity, and he didn't sound great, which is quite worried and quite alarming. I know fans of bare knuckle will argue, well, actually, you're taking less significant blows because the padding's took away, so you're taking less significant blows to the brain. But it's still, it's still unsafe, and it's still, at the end of the day, there's no padding. And Degale talking didn't sound great. I think after this, he spoke about maybe making a comeback to just normal boxing, which is interesting. He's 39. Whether that's the right move, I don't know. Is that then when he's going to look at maybe a Misfits route? I know people said bare knuckle does pay well. I know there's been a lot of people, fans of the sport, advocates of the sport. And listen, I don't mind it to watch it. I don't mind watching it. I think some of the guys who do it are quite skillful. And I think some boxers suit it better. I think we've seen that with guys like Tyler Goodjohn and others who suit bare knuckle better. Danny Christie, that they probably suit bare knuckle better than they do orthodox boxing with gloves on, where their skills translate better to the bare knuckle one. But I don't see how James Degale's skills are going to translate better to bare knuckle. There's been a few, like I say, Cox was gone get Frankie Gavin. I heard rumours that apparently Liam Smith may have been offered to go into it. I saw Jazza Dickens saying that a year ago he was thinking about doing it, and I think Kell Brook as well has been mentioned. All these guys who are talking about taking these fights, I just think, is this right? Is this fair? Should this be allowed? The undercard's got, I think, Aaron Chalmers on, the ex-Geordie Shore star, with Jack Fincham, the ex-Love Island winner, wasn't he? Not that I watch Love Island, but I think he won it with Danny Dye, didn't he? They're taking on the fight. I get it. If you're Bkfc, you're trying to build your profile. They've got obviously Yoel Romero on their books. They've got a lot of ex-MMA fighters as well. Mike Perry, obviously being a prominent one. I know Lucas Brown debuted in bare knuckle last week or a week before. He looked all right, actually, in it. He looked quite capable. He seemed to be enjoying himself in there. He's a massive bloke. He's always been a massive bloke, so that's to be hard for anyone stepping in with him. I worry for James Degale, and I worry for these ex-pros. And I think it leads nice onto what Chris Eubank was saying the other week, which is enough being done to look after these ex-fighters? Or are they looking down these maybe less orthodox and less mainstream routes? I don't want to say less safe routes, because that's wrong. But listen, I'm not accusing Bkfc of exploiting anyone. That's not what I'm doing. But I just think, where's the aftercare for a lot of these guys? James Degale retired from boxing. He's an ex-world champion. He was an Olympic gold medalist. He was a legend of the amateur game in British boxing. British amateur boxing, he's a legend. Whether you agree with the way he was as a pro, I know he had his controversies, but it's sad for me to see some of these guys who clearly aren't being well looked after going into this and being dismantled by guys who were a lot younger than them, but also would get their absolute backsides handed to them with gloves on, because it's a different sport. I just think it's a shame. I know Malinagi's going back into it. He's had bare knuckle fights before. It's tough. They're tough contests. Whatever you think of it. I know Liam Williams as well tweeted about it. You know, are we looking after these guys well enough? Could they not? Could James Degale and Frankie Gowen, with their amateur success, not be feeding the next GB hopes? Could they not be up in Sheffield doing that? I know there's no magic money tree, but there's a lot of money in boxing. And like Chris Eubank said the other week, where's it going? The Ricky Hatton death has unfortunately made that more poignant as well. Where is all this money going? Like I say, he might win James Degale. He might beat this Matt Floyd, and then all is well. And then I hope that's it. And maybe he goes and either looks at Misfits or looks at going into training. I don't know. I think it's worrying these guys have had tough careers. James Degale had some really tough fights. You think of the Truax fights. You think of Badu Jack. He's had some real tough fights. Broke his jaw in the Badu Jack fight, didn't he? You know, they're not easy fights to take. And then he's going into it where someone's hitting him with no padding, just their bare fist. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Not exactly the most bright subject for a Saturday. I don't know whether I'll watch it or not, to be honest, to see it. But thank you very much for watching as always, and have a great day. Thank you.